Imagine a world where you could predict a killer's every move, almost as if you were actually in their mind. I tried out some of the strongest aura builds that let you do just that, and let me tell you, the wall hacks were game-changing for me in extending my chases. Stranger Things Chapter 2 recently released, and this includes 11 and her new perk, We See You. With this perk, you gain a token every time the killer reveals your aura. Once you have 4 tokens, the killer's aura is revealed to you and all other survivors for 15 seconds with a 10-second cooldown. On its own, this perk is just okay, but there are some really strong combos that really make it shine. My must-have combo is We See You, Object of Obsession, and Scene Partner. When running Object, if you are the Obsession, the killer will see your aura every 30 seconds. You will also see the killer's aura anytime they see yours. This can help you identify a variety of killer perks such as Lethal Pursuer seeing you at the start of the match, Barbecue and Chili when someone is hooked, and Floods of Rage whenever someone is unhooked from a Scourge hook. There are also certain killer add-ons that can reveal aura, such as Huntress's Glowing Concoction when she hits you with a hatchet, and then there's Demogorgon traversing through his tunnels, which is really just for your own amusement.
They see me rolling, they hate it.
And then there's Scene Partner. I have honestly never run this perk until now, and now I'm not sure if I will ever be taking it off. When you are in the killer's terror radius, you scream and reveal their aura for 5 seconds. There is a 50% chance you will scream again and reveal their aura for another 2 seconds. And these screams can be endless. I thought it was bad enough when I sometimes struggle to open the gate when I can't stop screaming, but nothing is more embarrassing than trying to give the killer a gift and you can't even put it down because you can't stop screaming. Sorry, Legion. With these 3 perks together, you already will have pretty solid wall hacks on the killer throughout the match. And as an added bonus, you give your teammates aura reading pretty frequently throughout the match, which can help in their chases or sharing other info, which I love. I also explored 8 other aura read perks to decide what is ultimately the strongest build and rated them in order of their usefulness. We will start with what, in my opinion, are some of the weaker perks and builds and then progress to more of the strongest. Be sure to stick around to the end to see some really fun chases that highlight everything you can get from aura reading. So first up we have Still Sight. This allows you to see the aura of the killer, chests, and generators after standing still for 4 seconds. I'm really trying to find perks that help with aura reading in chase, or if not, at least be pretty strong in providing information. I don't really feel like this perk does either. Having to stand still for 4 seconds to reveal the killer within 24 meters doesn't seem all that useful. I mean, sure, there's the generator aspect, but there are other generator perks that are way more worth it, like Deja Vu. So overall, this perk is pretty useless in this combo. Next up is Rapid Response. With this perk, you see the aura of the killer for 2 seconds every time you become exhausted. You can also use it to see the killer by rushing out of a locker. So I experimented with a couple builds. First, I tried to keep We See You, Object, and Rapid Response, and then add on Sprint Burst. Unfortunately, I feel like stacking these together, you kind of end up losing the benefits of both because you just don't have enough perk slots to take full advantage. So of course I got a Spirit, which I feel like an aura build isn't really the best against her anyway. And in this match, she also had Starstruck, so I was exposed every 2 seconds. I think the major downside of this perk is the length of the aura reading being only 2 seconds. It's really not long enough to be that useful at all. I also tried out adding Dramaturgy and Ghost Notes to try to see if I could recover from exhausted faster to get more benefit. The problem was I've never really used Dramaturgy that much, so I'm not really that used to it. So for example here, I just got flustered and couldn't even press the button. Plus, sprinting away that close to a Billy isn't really going to work anyway. At least in this match, I still was able to have some pretty fun chases with the Billy, which pretty much was just being carried by Object of Obsession on its own. Also, let's just check out this unique pathing here. And then in this match, of course, the Unknown was running Ultimate Weapon, so when he opened a locker, we all screamed nearby and were suffering from blindness. So he really denied me that beautiful 2 seconds of aura read here. How dare he. But at least the second time I did get to take advantage of the good old Sprint Burst and get that nice whiff. So while I do love my Sprint Burst, I just don't think it works in this kind of build. I feel like this perk needs to show you aura for longer or have some kind of other part to it. Next, I tried out Troubleshooter. This perk activates when you are in chase. It allows you to see the aura of the generator with the most progress and see the aura of the killer for 6 seconds after dropping a pallet. These effects continue for 10 seconds after ending the chase. This is another perk I've never really used before. It was pretty interesting to explore to see if there was any benefits. I do think this can be a little bit useful. It can show you what generator your teammates are on so you can try to avoid that area, or it can tell you where you need to go afterwards if they weren't able to finish that gen, so you know exactly where they were. So some of the information can be pretty useful. I also think the aura of the killer being revealed to you for 6 seconds after dropping a pallet is pretty decent. A lot of times it's not that useful when the generator is the one you were just on. I feel like this could be kind of cool maybe if your other teammates could see it too, but the generator part of it's not that strong, but it can be useful in certain scenarios. I was able to have some pretty fun chases and matches with this combo. Not really because of troubleshooter, but it did help out a little bit. Overall, I would still rank it not very useful, but not exactly horrible if you wanted to pair it in there and play around with it. Next up is Wiretap. Wiretap allows you to install a trap on the generator that stays active for 2 minutes. When the killer comes within 14 meters of that generator, their aura is revealed to all survivors. This one I was a little unsure about pairing it and if it would be useful. My final verdict is I think it could be useful, but I feel like it's kind of hard to get value out of, especially when paired with everything else. I tried to throw it on this gen when I was the last one left, but the gen was regressing, so I couldn't throw it on. I did manage to get a little bit of value out of it in this Legion game, and hopefully giving my teammates some aura reading. I don't know how much it helped them. You'd have to ask them, but we'll just say it helped them a little bit, maybe. I also tried to use it against this Myers, but what are you gonna do? It's just killer mains. They don't let you have any fun. So not the strongest addition, but can give you a little information, which does seem to be the theme of a lot of these perks. But at least we had a couple fun chase moments with him. Next, we have Fogwise. This perk reveals the aura of the killer for 6 seconds every time you hit a great skill check while repairing a generator. This will kind of depend on how consistent you are at hitting great skill checks. I feel like I do pretty well, so I feel like this perk's not bad in this combo. It can give you a lot of information on where the killer is while you're working on the generator, so gives you some info. Not really obviously the most useful during chase. So in this match, I could instantly see it was Ghostface with my object showing me his lethal pursuer. Nancy maybe wasn't quite on the same page, but I don't know. If you see me running away like that, I feel like maybe you should just follow, but that's just me. But also, how did she not see him and didn't have any time to try to run there? I do not know. I don't think he knew either. Me and this Ghostface became pretty quick friends, had some really fun chases, some moments where maybe I embarrassed him a little bit, but it was all fun. I feel like this was the strongest window fake I've ever seen. And this was definitely a chase that really highlighted some of the value of aura reading in chases and being able to see where they're going. I also had some really strong and fun chases against this Billy, again really highlighting the value of aura reading and what it can do for you in your chases. Next up is Alert. With this perk, you see the killer's aura for 5 seconds whenever they perform a break or damage action. I didn't play too many matches with this perk added on. I mainly just had one with a farming doctor, which was kind of a strange time. So I don't have too much to show here, but Alert is pretty much in the same tier as the others, I would say, with providing some information, not the most amazing add-on. Next we have Poised. With this perk, you see the aura of the killer for 6 seconds whenever you first start repairing a generator. It also hides your scratch marks for 14 seconds whenever a generator is completed. I've also never really used this perk much, and it was not bad as an addition in this build. Another kind of informational perk, but not really life-changing. Honestly, the value from the hiding of the scratch marks might actually be worth it sometimes. It could even help you in chase when your teammates finish a gen. It didn't really help me here, but it could depending on where you are in your chase if you're able to get some distance and get away from them. It could also maybe help you get away, say if you finish the last gen and they come looking for you, they don't know where you went. So overall, can be situational, but kind of similar to the rest in giving you some information, but not the most amazing or useful. Another example of a lot of value from the aura reading was this chase with Blight. Also had pretty strong solo queue teammates, able to get a pallet save and extend the chase a little bit longer. So the moment we've all been waiting for, is there any perk to add on to this that really can give significant value? In my opinion, Eyes of Belmont is the strongest add-on perk to this build. With this perk, you see the killer's aura for 3 seconds whenever a generator is completed. It also acts kind of like a lethal pursuer for Survivor, where it extends the duration of all killer aura reads for 2 seconds. Adding this on with Object, Scene Partner, and We See You is really just increasing the amount of aura reading you're constantly getting. And with all 4 together, we're talking like permanent wall hacks in a lot of chases. I'll just let some of these chases speak for themselves and the amount of value that I got out of the aura reading. And I know for me, one of the biggest things I struggle with in chases is I'm pretty much always mind gaming myself and assuming the killer's gonna double back and do something different. So of course, when I can just see what he's doing, it removes all that guessing and allows me to work on hugging the wall tighter and just working on my other chase skills in general. This was an interesting pig match. I had a decent first chase for my team, and then for whatever reason, they let me rot on hook for a very long time. I don't know if the Claudette was mad that I kind of forced her to take a hit for me, but I don't think it really harmed her that much in the end. She didn't go down and I was able to keep chasing for a while. It's hard for me to tell whether she had it out for me or really what was going on with her. But like, I'm on death hook, my head trap's actually about to pop, and she was literally going to try to steal this box from me. And then I'm pretty close to death, and there I find her again on another box. So I'm trying my best. And of course, here's Pig, and I die anyway. That was a very painful match, but at least we had a fun first chase, I guess. This was a very fun Huntress match. Been playing a lot of how much value can I get out of a tiny rock. I love playing that with Huntress. Very fun match against Myers. A lot of fun with the aura reading and chase here. Another super strong solo queue teammate with the flashlight save, and I was leading this Myers on a chase for quite some time. To the point where I'm getting hit on hook and nodded at. I guess this build is turning me into the kind of survivor that gets this treatment, and I'm okay with it. At the end of the day, I died, but my whole team got out, and he kind of hated me, and it was all worth it in the end. A little more ring around the rosy with Huntress, more of my favorite. Some very strong and fun Wesker chases.
You're merely postponing the inevitable. Are you trying to make me angry? Just accept your fate.
This was when I was first trying this out and realized how fun this build was going to be. Had some very fun chases with Nemesis. So overall, my conclusion is that We See You, Object, and Scene Partner together is a killer combo. For the most value alongside those, I would recommend Eyes of Belmont to really extend those aura reads you are getting. But any of the other 7 perks we explored can provide some information or have situational uses. So if you like to play around with different builds, by all means, these can be fun to explore. I will say I've never really run a lot of aura read builds, as confidence in chase is something I've always struggled with. I have been improving a lot lately though, and this build really made me feel on a whole new level. So try it out for yourself and please share with me any experiences or value that you've had. I hope you enjoyed the video and happy wall hacking!